Hello everyone, welcome to AWS Tutorials. In AWS Tutorials, we provide workshops and exercises to learn about AWS services. These workshops and exercises are published to our website aws-dozo.com. Today, I'm going to talk about AWS Data Wrangler. So I thought I will first give an introduction video about AWS Data Wrangler, and then I'm planning to run an exercise series where you can use data wranglers with different type of AWS data services. So let's get introduction first today. So I will first give an introduction, and then I will show you a demo about data wrangler. So today, this service is especially for Python Panda lovers. So there's a great community of developers who use Python Panda libraries. They use Python Panda DataFrames for different types of data manipulations as well as data visualization. And these guys are interested to know if Python Panda data frame can be used to read data from AWS data services, or can it be used to write data to the AWS data services. And Data Wrangler is especially designed for that. So let's understand what exactly is AWS Data Wrangler. So it is it extends the power of Panda library, and the way it extends the features of functionality of Panda library is that you can use Panda data frames with AWS data related services. So in a very simple example, suppose if you want to read data from S3 bucket or Athena or Redshift or Timestream database, and you want to populate that into Panda data frame, then you can use Data Wrangler. In the same way, if you want to save or update your Panda data frame data into AWS data services like S3 or DynamoDB or Redshift or Athena, then you can again use Data Wrangler for that. So in a very simple term, Data Wrangler makes Panda data frame able to communicate with AWS data services, both to fetch data as well as to populate the data. So this service can then be used to build ETL applications using Panda library, where you can work with services like Glue, Redshift, CloudWatchLogs, DynamoDB, RDS databases, EMR to actually create an ETL pipeline. So read data from one source using Panda data frames, transform your data using Panda data frames, and then write your data to the designation which could be another AWS data service. So this service actually is an open source initiative from AWS Professional Services. And most important link is the link shown over here. I'm going to provide this link into the description box below as well, where you find plenty of documentation and code samples which tell you how you can use AWS data wranglers with AWS data services to both fetch data as well as to populate the data. So having said that, let's try to understand how you can install or use AWS Data Wrangler. And I'm trying to put into 3 examples over here, and I think these 3 use cases cover almost everything the way you can use Data Wrangler. So first thing could be that you are probably trying to use SageMaker Notebook, or you're using AWS Cloud9 environment, development environment, or you're using your own machine with Data Wrangler. In that case, you need to have a Python 3 environment into your notebook or Cloud9 or your own machine, and then you can simply use this pip install method to install the AWS Data Wrangler, and then simply use the libraries of Data Wrangler to make your Python Panda work with AWS data services. That's the one way you can use it. Other way you can use it, that you can also use Data Wrangler with PySpark jobs. In that case, you have to use version 2.0 for the PySpark job, and then when you configure your job, you actually basically provide a parameter, job parameter, which tells that you have to use AWS Wrangler as an additional Python module, and that way this library is made available to your PySpark job environment, and then your code can run to do ETL job into your PySpark jobs. That's another method you can use to work with Data Wrangler in your Glue PySpark jobs. And finally, you can also use a Data Wrangler in EMR cluster. In that case, you have to do two set of configuration. In first set of configuration, you have to say that you are going to use Python 3 as a default interpreter in your cluster. So that's the first thing you do as a part of your cluster configuration. And then you have to create a bootstrapped script for your cluster, which will simply install Data Wrangler, AWS Data Wrangler into your EMR environment. And then after that, of course, you can write whatever script you write. EMR cluster can run that job, that task to complete your ETL task. So these are the three major ways people like to use Data Wrangler when working with AWS Data Services. If you see that there's uses beyond these three, please let me know. I'm happy to cover that into another presentation. So, having understood these basics, we are going to show you a live demo for that. And in the first one, I'm going to use a SageMaker notebook, which I will use to talk to S3 bucket using Athena. Okay, so we will show you how to make Data Wrangler work inside SageMaker notebook. And then in the second one, I'm going to actually create a Glue PySpark job, and we'll use Data Wrangler with that. So that's the purpose today. So let's move to the demo. So here we go to the environment. Let me first walk you through what I have done. So I have created this Dojo data bucket in my S3, where I have created three folders. One is the sales folders, and in the sales folder I have got this sales.csv file, which is kind of a sample sales data, which I'm going to use as my source data. And then I have got another folder output, which is empty at this point of time. And this is the location which I'm going to use as a destination when I write ETL code inside Python using Data Wrangler and Panda. I want to write my output data to this particular folder. And then I have got my script folder, which I'm going to use to store the script in case I need to, when I try to create, in fact, Python, your Glue job using PySpark. So far in this one, I've got data in sales folder. And then what I have done is that I used a crawler actually to catalog my data and then I have a database called DojoDB, and in that DojoDB, I have created a table called sales, and this table actually represents data into your S3 bucket in the sales folder, as I showed earlier. And if you query this data, if you run this query over here, okay, and then you will find that actually, this is the sample data we are going to work. So we are going to show communication with S3 using Athena or using catalog, but yes, it also supports talking to S3 bucket directly, but I will cover it at some other point of time. Today I want to demonstrate communication through Glue catalog. Okay, so let's get going. So for that, I have already created a SageMaker notebook. So I launched a notebook, and this notebook is assigned a role, and that role has got permission to talk to the S3 bucket, talk to the Glue catalog. So whenever you create a notebook, you make sure, or if you want to try, you can probably give Athena full access, Glue full access, S3 full access, and that should suffice, or give it a power user access. if you want to play with it. But make sure that whatever role you're assigned that has got access to Athena and Glue and S3 bucket in order to talk to the data. So let's launch a Jupyter notebook. So here we launch a Jupyter notebook, and it will, yeah, here we go. So it's opening up, and then I launch a new file under this, and I'm going to use Python 3 library. So I will simply use Conda Python 3 in this case. So right now I'm showing you the first demo where I'm going to talk to this data using Data Wrangler and Python Panda library. Okay, and then I will write the whole code to read data, do little transformation, and then write back to the S3 bucket and also catalog it. Okay, so in order to do so, first thing first, this environment does not have AWS Data Wrangler install. So first I'm going to do that. So here I run a shell script saying pip install AWS Data Wrangler. Oops, sorry. And if I run it, it will take a couple of seconds, and it will install a Data Wrangler in my notebook environment. So let's wait till it finishes. It will take just a couple of seconds, not more than that, and your Data Wrangler will be ready. So your Data Wrangler is ready now. Now what we do is that we import certain libraries. So what I'm going to do here, that I'm importing datetime just in case if I need it. Otherwise, I'm importing Panda library from Python, and then I'm also importing AWS Data Wrangler. So simply import these three libraries. Okay. So yeah. So while it is importing the library, now I'm going to write some line of code to read data from the Glue catalog, which is actually representing a data stored inside S3 bucket. So to do so, I write the code, and the code is this. So basically what I'm saying here is that using Data Wrangler, I'm using Athena as a source. I want to read data using a SQL query. I'm simply saying select star from sales, and if you look at this sales is nothing but a sales table over here, and then my database is Dojo database, and if you come back here again, sorry, you can see that sales is in a Dojo database. So yeah, simply using my catalog, I run this query. Sorry, I run this statement. So what it's going to do is that it's going to read all the records from my sales table and populate that into a Panda data frame. And you can actually check it. So if I simply run df over here, actually you can see that Panda has simply populated the data from your sales table. Now, having read my data frame, I want to perform little transformation, and for this demo, I'm using a very little transformation. But you know, Panda libraries, you know what kind of complex and nice transformations it can do, and actually feel free to use some more complex transformation. You can probably populate more than one data frame, try to make a join or some other kind of calculation on top of that. So to do so, what I will do is I will simply use a small data frame based transformation. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use a select transformation on my data frame. That means I'm saying that from my data frame, I am interested only in order number, quantity ordered, price age, order line number, sales, total sales value, and order date. Yeah, nothing more than that. So I simply apply this transformation. And once I have applied my transformation, actually I can validate whether my transformation has worked or not. So if I do so, you can see that yes, my transformation has worked. Now my data frame is much small in terms of number of columns. So now this is, suppose, the transformation you want to perform, and now you want to write this back to the S3 bucket. To do so, what you will do is that you will simply write another line of code, and that code says that Okay, Data Wrangler, I want to write to the S3 using S3 API. I want to write in a, say, Parquet format, just to show you that you can actually transform data. So my source data was in CSV format. You can see over here, it is in the CSV format over here. But when I'm writing it back, I want to convert it to Parquet format. My S3 location is output folder, and this is a data set. My database is going to be DozoDB. And then suppose table, I simply say this is my sales one table, yeah, because I want to run this script one more time using a Glue Spark job. So I simply run this line of code, pretty straightforward. And when I do that, actually, it has written my data. And in fact, if you look at this location over this, our response over here, this is the location, and this is the file name it has used to write my data to the destination. So if I go to my S3 bucket and go to my output folder, actually you can see, if I refresh this page over here, you can see it has written my Parquet file. If I go to the Glue job and refresh my tables over here, you can see that it has cataloged the data using sales one table, which is representing data stored at the output folder. And similarly, I can go and query here data as well. So if I simply refresh it, you can see sales one table. And if I simply append this one saying sales one, run, and you can see here that it has populated my data. So this was an example how you can write script inside. This script I wrote, you can actually write inside. I show you example with SageMaker notebook, but you can run it on your local machine, or you can use Cloud9 environment or EC2 instance to run this kind of script. In fact, this you can write into EMR as well. So just to demonstrate, so this was how probably you will work in your development environment where you're writing a single line of code and testing it and unit testing it to make sure that it's working as good. Now, suppose you want to convert this into a job. Now, you can convert this job using many ways. You can convert this using Python shell script based Glue job, or PySpark based Glue job, or you can also use EMR based EMR based task. So in this example, I'm going to show you how you can create a job using PySpark Glue job. So to do so, what I will do is that we will simply go to the Glue, and I will go to the jobs, and I'm going to create a new job, and I will call it, say, Dojo Data Wrangler job. So it says what IAM role, and again you create an IAM role which has select IAM role which has permission to like read from Athena, write to S3 bucket, read from S3 bucket, and those kind of things. So same permission like your SageMaker role has. I'm saying this is Spark type. Now here it is very important, guys, that when you're selecting your Glue version, this works with Glue version 2.0 only. So in this case, since I'm using Python 3 with PySpark, I select Spark 2.0, Python 3, Glue version 2.0. So it's very important. Glue version 2.0 is mandatory. Then what I'm saying is that I will write a new script, which I'm going to write over here. I need to provide a location which can be used as a temporary directory and where my script can be stored, which I'm going to write. So I'm going to provide the location for that. And location is, as I showed you earlier, remember in the bucket I had a script folder. So I'm simply going to provide that script folder as the location. So I do that. And after that, actually, I can also provide job parameters. Job parameters is pretty straightforward. So in that case, actually, I write a job parameter, and here I need to tell what additional modules this job has to load in order to run the job. And in this case, that module actually is Data Wrangler. And to do so, actually, I forgot to copy that location. So what I will do I'll do one thing. I'll quickly search on internet about that job, in fact, and then I'm going to use, say, AWS Data Wrangler. And if I come over here and say, okay, where is that? Okay. Okay, I should have made copy of that earlier, but somehow, yeah, I forgot. But that's not a problem. I'm going to show you. So these are some sample codes. I simply goes to here, PySpark job, for instance. So I just need to do this copy paste job. So I'm going to configure additional modules parameter in my glue job. So I simply come over here, copy paste the modules, and then I say the module is actually Data Wrangler. So I provide this location over here. Okay, so having done that, now I simply say next. It is saying, do you want to add any connections? I'm not using any connections, so I simply move on and I will save and edit the script. And then here we go. Now we need to write the job. So I'm just going to copy paste the job in one go. So the copy paste code looks like same thing what you saw earlier. So I simply import my my Data Wrangler, Panda, and datetime. Then I simply read from my Athena glue catalog from sales data. This is the database. I apply my filter, and then I'm writing back to Parquet. And here I say my table is, say, sales 2. So I'm saying when you add this file, you simply call it sales 2. So I do this, and then I'm going to simply save the job. And once I have saved the job, I will run the job. Okay. So it will run the job. I just want to make sure that my parameters are configured properly, which is the case. So yeah, it looks good to me. I simply run the job. Now my job will start running. Actually, it will take some time before the job is done. So let's wait for job to finish, and then I will show you the output. And you can see the status, it has succeeded. And now I can, so that means my job has run the script, it has read the data from S3, do the performance, and write back to the S3 bucket. So if I go to my S3 bucket again and refresh my output directory, I should see another Parquet file, and that Parquet file is created 8 minutes later. So this is the Parquet file created by my job, and I can go similarly to my glue console. If I go to my tables, you can see my sales 2 table has been created, which also has got output folder, your data into the output folder. So this was an example, guys, how you can use AWS Data Wrangler with AWS. You can use AWS Data Wrangler to work with Python Panda libraries and AWS Data Services to read data from there and also write data to them in order to build ETL pipelines. So that is all for today, guys. Hope you like this video, and if you like, click on the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. There are many other similar videos, exercises, and workshops which are published to our website aws-dojo.com. So please do visit us. I'm providing the URL of my website in the comments in the description section. If you have any feedback or comments or suggestions or any request for new content, either you can provide us in the comment section of the video, or you can also visit to our website aws-dojo.com and can go to the context at us section to provide feedback from there as well. So that is all for today, guys. I promise to come back in a couple of days with another video. In the meantime, please stay safe and have a nice day. Bye-bye.